Okay, this lesson is going to be creating a sandwich shop website. So the first thing we have to do is go ahead and create a file. So I'm going to go ahead and click on File and New. And this is going to be our HTML file. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. So I'm going to hit a save. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. And I'm going to save it in my Documents folder. And I'm going to make a new folder. And I'm going to call this Sandwich Shop. Okay, so now I have it going in my sandwich shop, and I'm going to call this sandwich template underscore template .html. And it's important for us to have the HTML at the end of it so that Sublime knows that's what we're doing. And it's going to help us with some of our HTML, making our lives a little bit easier. And I'm going to hit save. All right, so now I want to create the basic shell of this. And I simply have to just type HTML on the screen and press the tab, and bang, it goes ahead and gives us what we need for our starting of our shell. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a title, Sandwich Shop. Okay, and then we're going to need some other stuff. One of the things we need to do is let them know we're using HTML5. So I use a less than symbol and then an exclamation point, and then in caps, doc type, and then lowercase HTML, and then close that. Okay, this is just a one tag, no opening and closing, letting the browser know that we're using HTML5. Okay, then we have our title, and then there's some other things that we can put in here. One is going to be our link to our CSS page. So let's go ahead and do that next. We're going to want to have an external sheet attached to this. So I'm going to do File and New File again. Okay, this is going to be our CSS page. And then I'm going to immediately save it. So I'll do File and Save. And then I'm going to call this, just going to call it sandwich.css. And then I'm going to copy this, Control C, because I'm going to need that name. And then I'm going to save it, and it's going to save right into the same folder that our template is. And now we're going to go ahead and link those two files together. And I'm going to do that with link. I'm going to type link just like that. I'm going to press tab, and it's going to put in all the extra HTML for me. So no less than symbol, just link and tab. And it says, well, where is the file? And I'm going to go ahead and paste in the name of our file. That's what we need because this file is in the same directory as our HTML page. So right now we have enough for our pages. So the next thing we're going to do is go into the body and start putting some structure in. Now, one of the things that we're going to do is that I want to have this so that it has blank margins depending on the size of the screen, and then all my contents in the middle. If we use the body for that, the body spans from one side of the screen to the other unless we put some margins in. But the better thing to do is to use a structure tag, a block element called div, and I always forget to, okay, so I'm going to type in div, D-I-V, and then press tab. And there's my div tags. And then this is going to go the length of my page. Nothing is going to be below my div except my closed body. Everything's going to be in here. And now I'm going to name this. So I'm going to say that this has a class equal to, and then we're going to give it a name. And the standard name for this is wrapper, or sometimes it's called container. So everything is going to be wrapped up in my wrapper. And then I'm going to put all my other elements inside. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do inside my wrapper is I'm going to make a header. And I'm just going to type in header here and then close it. and that's another way of typing it. Okay, the next thing we're going to have is a navigation section. So I'm going to, I have a hard time remembering not to type in anything. All right, so nav, and then press tab, and now we have our nav, and I'm just going to type in navigation. We're actually going to use that later on, and then I'm going to press enter, and the next section is going to be my, I'm going to call this section. I'm going to press tab, and it's going to fill that in, and I'm going to put in, let's go ahead and put in just section. Again, this is just going to be a placeholder. If we don't put anything in when we render the page, there's nothing there. So we want to go ahead and do our last one is going to be our footer. Press tab, and then type in footer so we can see what we have on our page. And you can see I'm pushing this div down on the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and move that back up again. We don't need to have that much room. So we're going to have a basic page that's going to have a header along the top, a navigation on the side. This section is going to be our content for our page, and then we're going to have a footer along the bottom. So let's go ahead and save this page, file and save. And let's go ahead and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go into Windows Explorer and go into my sandwich shop, and there are my two pages. So I'm going to right mouse click on sandwich template, and then tell it I want to open it up, and we can open it up with Internet Explorer. I don't have Firefox loaded on here, but I hate Internet Explorer. It tends to do freaky types of rendering, so we're going to render in our Chrome, which is our most forgiving of browsers. Okay, and it's loading, and that's it. So this is all we have so far. Each of these are block elements. So if we right mouse click on here and then do inspect element like I did before, Chrome will open up and allow us to be able to see what's in each of them. I see my everything is inside my wrapper. So I hit the down arrow to open everything up, and you can see there's my header, there's my navigation, there's my section, there's my footer. All of these are block elements. So all of these have go across and fill up the entire container. Okay, so if I was going to click on that and then go into here, you can see that is the content. There is no padding, there is no border, there is no margin. So that's our next thing. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and style these up a little bit so we can see what we're doing. All right, so go ahead and save all pages. So let's go back to Sublime and do File, Save All, and then we'll start with this again on the next lesson.